How's everybody doing? A little something different, kinda, in this video. An unboxing. Brand new knife. Everybody likes brand new knives. It's a Rough Rider, one of the Faded Blue Jean series with this blue micarta handles. They look great. With the orange underliners. There you go. So the boxes that these things come in are really good. You know, with a little magnetic closure and opening from the top, you know, so if you wanted to, you know, wrap this up and have it be like a presentation or a gift or whatever, these are nice. But as cool as the box is, it gets a lot cooler on the inside. This is a Pipe Doctor's knife. The Doctor's knife pattern has been around for years, and basically a signature of that is this, you know, it's short, slim design with, some of them had two blades, but this one just has one. Like I said, they listed this as a Pipe Doctor's knife with this little, I don't know what you'd call that, not a probe, but this little, you know, rod, a little half stop. Obviously they would use this for cleaning out pipes, you know, scraping the bowls of pipes out, and the smoke chambers would be pretty much the only use for that. Or, you know, I know people that could probably pick a lock with this, or, you know, like a pen placeholder or something. But yeah, a few uses, mainly, you know, of the imagination for that there. But the blade, yeah, like I said, these knives really kind of started coming about in the late 1800s. After, you know, the Civil War. Yeah, there it is. It's got 440 steel, so a good steel on that blade. But like I said, these knives really kind of started coming around in the late 1800s because doctors made house calls almost exclusively, especially, you know, here in my part of the country in southern Mississippi, and pretty much anywhere in the South, very rural areas. You know, most people had access to a doctor, but, you know, those doctors had to travel. So having to travel like that, you know, they had to carry everything with them that they'd possibly need. Knives, tools, medicines, anything. Because chances are, you know, if they needed something they didn't have, you know, it wasn't going to be at that person's house. So, it was very functional in a couple of different ways, really, for that reason. The blades on these were always really flat, or were always really wide. You know, of course, you know, most knife blades are flat, but, you know, on these doctor's knives, most of the blades were always really wide, because, you know, they would use these for crushing up medicine, you know, depressing the tongue to look down, you know, throat, and, you know, assess somebody's throat, or, you know, mixing medicines, you know, after they cut the medicines up. So, yeah, Case, of course, you know, was one of the primary manufacturers of these knives back during that time. But then, you know, other brands did come along. At some point, this pattern was vaulted by Case, and they brought it back out in 2018. But this being the Rough Rider design on this knife, the pattern number for these for Rough Rider is the RR2352. And I believe, yep, it's stamped right there on the back of the blade. Right there, I don't think you can read it that small, but yeah, the 2352. So yeah, just a new knife. I got this again off of Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I don't even think it was on sale. I think it's probably in the neighborhood of $16, I believe is what I gave for this. But hey, I'll carry it. I'll find a use for it for it somewhere for sure. Now, the only thing that I guess just looking at it, I'm not the craziest in the world about is this little poker. It's all the way down. That's fully closed. So, if you've got the blade open and you're using it, I guess, your fingers could go over it. You don't want to bend it down too much with too much pressure. Now, if the blade is closed, it kind of hides, right? It's the same height as the back of the blade. So, I'm not assuming too much would get caught on that going in and out of your pocket. But yeah, definitely worth a try. I love this blue denim micarta that they do on this series. I've got, I think I've got several of these faded blue jean types, but there's several more that I want, and I'll show those off. I'll show those off when I get them. The bolsters are clean. The line works good. The hefting is amazing. So yeah, thanks for coming along and unboxing this one with me. Yeah, hopefully I'll be carrying this one soon and see how it goes. And if there's any major developments, I'll be sure to pass those along. But thanks again for checking out the video. Y'all have a great one.